The moment you feel tired of struggling and secretly wonder if life has forgotten your address is the moment this message is meant to reach you, because nothing in the universe is random and no sincere desire ever rises in the heart without already being answered in the unseen. And today, you are being reminded that you are not a creature of chance, but an heir to infinite provision that has always been flowing toward you, even when you could not see it. There is a hidden order working behind every delay, every closed door, and every night you have whispered prayers with tears on your pillow. And this order is not cruel or careless, but exact, loving, and powerful beyond your imagination. You were never designed to chase money in fear. You were designed to command supply through alignment, and the ancient law of abundance states that whatever you recognize as your true source will begin to shape your reality with perfect accuracy. When you declare that your sustenance does not come from people, jobs, or fragile systems, but from a divine treasury that never closes, you release yourself from the exhausting habit of worry that steals your peace before it ever steals your wealth. The heart that trusts becomes magnetic, and the mind that expects good becomes a fertile field where opportunity takes root without struggle, because supply is not something you manufacture, but something you allow. You have been taught to believe that effort alone controls your destiny, yet the deeper truth is that faith is the master key that unlocks doors you could never force open with logic or labor. Every time you feel the ache of lack, it is not a punishment, but a signal that your attention has drifted from the fountain of all riches back to the illusion of scarcity. And in that instant, you are invited to remember who you truly are. You are a channel, not a container, and the more freely you let good flow through your thoughts, the more rapidly it multiplies in your circumstances. Prosperity is not impressed by desperation. It responds to quiet certainty. And when you move with the calm conviction that your needs are already met in divine timing, the outer world rearranges itself in astonishing ways. You do not beg the sun to rise or the tide to return, and in the same way, you do not beg for abundance because it is part of the natural order of your being. When you plant a seed of belief in fertile soil, you do not stand over the ground in panic, demanding proof. You trust the invisible work that is already underway beneath the surface, and that is how true wealth is conceived. The law is simple and relentless. Whatever you consistently affirm becomes the mold of your life, and when your inner conversation changes from fear to faith, the universe has no choice but to echo that change back to you in form, opportunity, and unexpected provision. Today is not about chasing money. It is about reclaiming authority over your thought life, because the world you see is only a shadow cast by the convictions you hold in silence. When you accept that your supply is divinely ordained, you step out of survival and into sovereignty, and from that sacred ground, abundance does not trickle, it pours. There comes a moment, often when the night is darkest and the burden feels heaviest, when you begin to realize that the very obstacles that have seemed to block your way are actually signposts, guiding you to a deeper understanding of abundance. And in that suspended moment of tension, a powerful revelation awaits. For the universe always uses silence, delay, and apparent limitation to refine your faith and clarify your vision. You may have felt frustration, perhaps even despair, when doors closed and opportunities vanished. Yet these experiences are not punishments, but invitations to align more fully with the infinite intelligence that governs all supply, and every limitation you encounter carries within it the secret of an unseen provision, waiting only for your recognition. Consider this: your mind is a magnet, and what you hold as truth in your consciousness draws like into your life. If you dwell on scarcity, the outer world will faithfully mirror your inner apprehension. But if you shift your thought to certainty, expectation, and divine possibility, you awaken a current of abundance that cannot be resisted. The suspense of waiting, the tension of uncertainty, is not something to be feared. It is the very moment when the invisible begins its work, when the seeds you have planted in faith begin to sprout beneath the surface, unseen but unstoppable, and the law of divine supply, precise and unwavering, is already moving on your behalf. You may ask why blessings do not arrive immediately, why your prayers seem unanswered, yet it is in this careful orchestration of timing that the greatest miracles are nurtured, for an abundance delivered too soon, unprepared for in your consciousness, would be wasted. And so the divine mind orchestrates every element to perfect readiness. There is a principle, sacred and immutable, that prosperity cannot be forced. It cannot be hurried, argued into existence, or extracted by effort alone, for it is a living energy that responds only to the consciousness that is aligned, grateful, and receptive. And when you learn to cultivate this inner state, you awaken forces far greater than your personal striving. Imagine wealth as a stream. If you struggle against it, you merely exhaust yourself. But if you step into the current, trust its direction, and allow it to carry you, it delivers far beyond anything you could have engineered. Here lies the suspense, the great and subtle thrill of life's unseen choreography. Every no is a carefully placed yes that has not yet revealed itself. Every delay a preparation for a blessing that will astonish you when it finally manifests. You are being trained to see abundance not as a distant goal, but as your natural state, to understand that lack is an illusion, a temporary misalignment, and that every thought, word, and feeling you cultivate has the power to call forth a new reality. Even as you may feel doubt creeping in, even as the world around you seems slow to respond, the laws of divine supply are already moving, invisible but inevitable. And once you grasp the certainty of this truth, fear loses its power, limitation dissolves, and you stand on the threshold of miracles that you once believed were reserved for others. The suspense is not a sign of absence, it is the hush before manifestation. The sacred pause before the universe delivers in full measure the prosperity that your faith has invited, and the deeper your trust, the more magnificent the unfolding will be. For no mind aligned with the infinite has ever gone unrewarded. Now, as you stand at the edge of this realization, it becomes clear that abundance is not a distant dream, not a reward to be earned through struggle, but a living presence that surrounds you, waiting only for your acknowledgement, your willingness to receive, and your refusal to entertain doubt. The mind that understands this principle is like a vessel turned toward the ocean of supply. It is open, receptive, and unconcerned with obstacles, for it knows that no barrier can impede the flow of what is divinely ordained. Every challenge you have faced, every disappointment you have endured, has been a teacher, shaping your consciousness to resonate with higher frequencies of prosperity, and when you honor the lessons rather than resist them, the law of abundance responds with precision. Imagine a river flowing beneath a frozen surface. The water does not stop because the ice appears unyielding, it simply continues its course, unseen, unstoppable, gathering strength for the moment when it will burst forth in fullness. And this is exactly how your supply moves, silently, unseen, yet absolutely certain. There is power in expectation, sacred power, the kind that transforms thought into tangible experience, and when you cultivate the habit of affirming your sustenance, speaking in certainty rather than pleading, and feeling the reality of your provision in advance, you step into a state where miracles are ordinary, where doors open before you even think to knock. Do not measure your progress by appearances, for the universe often works invisibly, orchestrating connections, guiding opportunities, and arranging circumstances long before the results manifest in form. The mind that waits patiently, trusts fully, and refuses to entertain fear becomes a magnet not only for wealth, but for wisdom, courage, and the alignment necessary to use abundance wisely. For prosperity is never meant merely to satisfy desire, but to awaken the soul to its infinite capacity. Remember that every affirmation of faith, every grateful thought, every refusal to believe in lack, adds to an invisible ledger, building momentum that compounds unseen, and soon the results appear, often in forms far beyond your imagination, as the divine supply cannot be limited by human expectations. You may begin to notice small miracles at first, unexpected gifts, timely ideas, sudden clarity, but these are only the prelude to a grander unfolding, a revelation that your life is not subject to chance, but to laws far higher than you have yet realized. Let this be a turning point, a conscious choice to walk daily in trust, to speak words of affirmation, to visualize abundance, and to act from the confidence that you are already supplied. Every step taken in faith reverberates through the unseen, calling forth situations, people, and resources that reflect the richness of your inner conviction. You were never meant to scrape, to struggle endlessly, or to fear the future. You were created to live in the freedom of trust, to rejoice in the certainty that Allah is your sustenance, and to experience wealth not as an occasional blessing, but as a natural, ever-present state of being. When you embrace this truth fully, your life transforms from the inside out, and prosperity flows as naturally as light fills the morning sky. Every thought of gratitude becomes a channel for more. Every act of faith, a declaration that the universe is boundless in its generosity, and every day lived in alignment with this law brings you closer to the limitless joy and abundance that are your birthright. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early.